Co-Health acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land and waterways on which our offices stand, the Bunurong, Wurundjeri and Wathawarung people, and pays respects to elders past, present and emerging. We acknowledge the stolen generations and the historical and ongoing impact of colonisation on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. We also recognise the resilience, strength and pride of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's living culture is the oldest continuing culture in the world, and we acknowledge that the land and waterways are a place of age-old ceremonies, of celebration, initiation and renewal.
I want to see representation that better reflects the cultural and racial diversity of Australia's contemporary music landscape. And I want to see this representation at all levels. Artists, bookers, venue managers, agents, organisers. I want it to be reflective and not just on lineups, but all the way behind the scenes too.
I want to see more original content. I want to see truly authentic pieces of work that inspire not just your audience, but inspire other artists. I want that exciting, contagious feeling that you get when you see something that is, you can't compare it to anything else that you've seen.
Also for aspiring artists like me who live with disabilities, to have their music heard and their stories told around the world.
It's almost sad that we have to have this conversation because there are so many amazing people out there that just don't get these opportunities like they should. And sometimes these people can create and be the ones who do make the most phenomenal music.
It's really good to see and hear more of having consultations with migrants and refugee background musicians, because we need to give them a voice. We need to involve them in decision making. They know better what they want and what support they need to be able to express themselves and create music or art.
I want to keep seeing more recognition around independent artists and music makers, and more support around people like myself that are doing everything themselves: recording, writing, promoting, producing, marketing themselves. More support around everyone that's starting up as a musician.
Music in this state is a huge industry. So I think there needs to be better state and federal support to make sure that the people who are supplying the art are looked after.
I would like to see more musicians playing at more pubs locally, and more opportunities to collaborate with different artists, and less favoritism, I reckon.
There's a difference between criticism and being rude. Criticism can be very helpful, but being blatantly rude to one another is just not necessary. And I think if we can combat this together, it'll become a more inclusive environment as well.
More collaborations between black and white artists and hearing more of our languages out there. I'd like to hear more non-Indigenous mobs celebrate our languages through songs, and also celebrate our songs and our anthems, to the songbook, the Australian songbook.
Access all areas.
For all.
For me.
For you.
For us.
Access All Areas is a collaboration of music industry, local government and community, LGBTQIA+, and women's health stakeholders to advance opportunities for safety, gender equity and diversity in music industry settings in Melbourne's metropolitan north and west. Access All Areas recognises and seeks to shed light on the ways gendered violence and underrepresentation is shaped by structures such as colonisation, racism, ableism and more to impact particular groups in unique and compounding ways. Access All Areas centres the needs of groups most impacted and aims to amplify their voices in working towards cultural and structural change in music industry settings.